it's good news. Your mammogram is negative. The only thing that I would add is that you have dense breast tissue, which makes reading your mammogram actually more challenging than if you didn't have dense breast tissue.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
You're right. It's
just for getting the test done, right?
No, it's not a bad thing to have dense breast tissue, and it's actually very common to have dense breast tissue, especially younger women more often have dense breast tissue than older women. It's very common that as women age, their breast tissue becomes more fatty replaced or involutes. So it's very common to have dense breast tissue, especially when you're young as you are.
Because it sounds bad. I mean, when a doctor says, "Bud, you have dense breasts," it sounds negative, right? So I'm glad you're clarifying that.
So is this just a precautionary step? Then this is another phase because of the dense breast tissue that you want to do the ultrasound?
Good question. It's actually law that we have to let patients know that they have dense breast tissue. Because of the limitations of mammography, it's very difficult to see, it can be very difficult to see cancer on a mammogram in patients with dense breast tissue. Now, cancer usually looks white, and dense breast tissue looks white on a mammogram.
Right.
That's why I'm recommending that you have an ultrasound, because on an ultrasound, it's kind of the reverse. The dense breast tissue will look bright, and the cancers usually look dark.
Can you explain to us what an ultrasound is and what it does?
Sure. An ultrasound is a very useful test. It is a technology that uses sound waves. Now, ultrasound is not a replacement for mammography, but actually is a complement to mammography. So especially in patients with dense breast tissue, where it can be hard to see cancers, ultrasound can be actually very useful to find those cancers.
Just to be clear, so every year from this point forward, she should be going in to have this?
Absolutely, every year.
Even though nothing turned up in this one, you still want to. And why a year? What's the significance of a year?
Definitely a year, because breast cancer, first of all, is treated much easier when it's small. So you want to catch breast cancer when it's really small.
Now, when you say treated, excuse me, doctor, when you say treated, do you mean successfully? Like there's
treated successfully or curatively.
Okay.
Now, breast cancer grows, and it usually doubles in size every 6 months. So in a year, if, let's just say someone had a cancer, and we weren't able to see it this year on a mammogram, next year, it should be 4 times the size. So we should see it then. If we waited 2 years or more years, in 2 years' time, it would be 16 times the size.
A lot.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So it's a lot different.
Early detection is the key.
Yeah.
Early detection is definitely the key.
Will save your life, as we said yesterday.
Thank you, doctor, for being
Absolutely,
here
thank
with
you.
us.
Thank you for being so brave and doing it. We're happy with the results.